Well guys, let me start off this video by saying thank you so much for all the support about this whole tree deal here. I don't even know how to say it, but just thank you so much. Hi, how are you? You did a survey on my property about a year ago, and now I'm having issues with my neighbor, and I'd like to have somebody come out and mark a tree on my on my survey. Orlando? Field date 3/2/15. Paul Zott, S-Z-O-T-T. I was gonna say, am I the only one that does that? No, third person. That's great. Okay, so you'll call me back? Thank you. Okay, bye. Let me give a big old thumbs up to Mila, because for the Mercedes, for the truck, for the minivan, and for the fifth wheel, we used to have 21st Century Insurance, but she made a phone call, and 21st Century Insurance used to charge us $740. Now with Liberty Mutual Insurance, we only pay $353 a month for insurance. And $50 a year more because of her speeding tickets and my speeding tickets. But thank you, Liberty Mutual, for saving us tons of money. And by the way, that was not a paid plug. I won't be able to fit the RV over there by the tree, but I sure as hell can fit this car. I haven't used this car in a long time, so I had to jump start it. But the other thing that I'm having problems with is the power steering. The power steering leaks. Is it supposed to be boiling like that? One day I wanted to charge the battery and I left the car on and I forgot, and I left it on for a long time. And when I came back, there was just oil underneath. Tons of oil underneath, and then I figured out later what it was. It's power steering fluid. So somewhere I have a power steering fluid leak, and I don't know where it's coming from, so that's gonna be my next thing to figure out. And if you're wondering why I did this, you're gonna have to check out yesterday's video. Hey, how are you? My name is Paul Zott. I called this morning about the tree survey. I'll just take the soonest appointment, and if something happens, I'll call you back. But alrighty, greatly appreciate it. All right, have a good day. Okay, thank you. All right, bye. Now it's time to drop a whole bunch of stuff off at the office. As I bring stuff into the office, I figured you guys would get a kick out of this. These are old bridges that I cut out. Bridges or crowns or extractions. There's a sterilization bag right there full of crowns. But what we do is we send this, we put this in those little things here, cans, whatever, and we send it out, and they send us cash for it. They melt it down, figure out how much gold is in there, and then they send us cash. So I don't know how much is in here, but I think I've sent a jar out like this once, and they sent me like $800 or something like that, if I remember correctly. So look at that! Wow, I bet you guys have never seen this before. All right, so there's the tree that we're talking about, and here's a stake for the property line right there. But I guess pretty soon we'll find out exactly where that tree is. But for 100%, that tree goes through the property line. Looks like it's gonna be a wine evening, kind of a evening.
It's only one glass.
Only one glass?
There wouldn't be any wine evening.
Well, I'll be damned. Look what I got today at 6:30. Hey, Paul. Mate, I really want us to get along, so rather than pissing you off, I decided friends go a lot further than enemies. I told the tree company to leave the tree where your swing is on and kinda covers your house alone. They just gonna cut the other side off that looks like a toothpick anyways. If you don't mind, when I have the fence put up again, that we curve it through your yard, that'd be great. Just tell me yes or no prior so we don't have to bump heads there too. Have a great evening. Okay, so here you go. He probably saw the video. He probably read your comments. He probably realized that he doesn't have a right to cut the tree down without my permission, since it is on a property line. But I'm not going to be Mr. Nice Guy anymore. Here's how I responded. In my opinion, you were a jerk and a bully when you moved into the neighborhood, but it has been a while and I got over it, and we sort of became friends with each other to go as far as me letting you use my power. In return, you gave me a bottle of wine. Thank you. Our friendship was slowly getting better. Until the last few messages you sent me about the tree, I realized that when you get what you want, you're a nice guy. When you don't get what you want, you bully up and don't give a shit about anybody else but yourself. At this point, I have to spend more money with the survey company to mark the tree, and I don't want the fence in my backyard. I'll say what you always say to me. Have a great evening. Take care, mate. Yep, now I'm being an ass, but you know what? I don't want that fence in my backyard either. If he was nice from the beginning, I wouldn't really care. But I know that he's nice just because he wants something again, and I'm not gonna let him have it. So now I could be an asshole. I don't want the fence in my backyard either, and I want to keep the tree. There's the tree. There's the fence. Me, ass. What would you do? Would you put the fence this way or this way? I don't want it here. I'll be happy with that. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you put up a fence, you always have to put the fence up on your property and you put the nice side on the outside. So, if he's putting up the fence, it's got to be boxed in on his side. If I'm putting up the fence, it's got to be boxed in on my side. I ain't putting up the fence. So since he's putting up the fence, I guess he's got to box it in on his side. The thing is back in 2014, when I had my wooden fence there, he made me take my wooden fence down because he said it was encroaching up on his property. And he said he's going to put up a fence like this, but nicer. This is an actual picture of a text that he sent me. He said, I'm going to put up a fence like this, but nicer. So I was like, wow, that's great. I was even willing to chip in for that fence. Then when I came home from one of my trips, I saw one of these fences up there. So yeah, I was kind of disappointed because I wanted a nice privacy fence. That's why I had my wooden fence there. Then he said, okay, take down that wooden fence because it was encroaching on his property a little bit. So he said, take down the wooden fence. I took down a fence. He showed me this fence that he's going to get. Well, apparently he didn't get that kind of a fence. He got that little, whatever, see-through aluminum fence. So that's the other thing I kind of don't understand is I was willing to chip in for a nicer fence. He just, I don't know, I guess wanted to be Mr. Nice Guy and put up a fence all by himself. Totally different fence that he showed me that we talked about. But, oh well, so whatever. So now he wants to put up that same little aluminum fence. So if he wants to put it up, let him put it up on his side. So the reason why this fence is down now is because when he put up that fence, he put it up too much on his property. So now he ended up taking that fence down again so he can re-put it up, but he hasn't put it up in a long time. So that's why I put up the temporary fence so my dog doesn't go anywhere. So after I sent him a message that I don't want the fence on my side, at least I got a nice little thumbs up. And look what I just got again. Ordered a bunch of stuff for the office. Apparently it was delivered to his house and not mine. So at least he's not keeping my stuff.